I've come to realize that we usually talk football most of the time.
So you have something
when we're doing,
mind.
yeah. So I have something. I have Serena Williams in mind.
Serena Williams.
Today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Blessing Okakbari.
Oh no. Yeah. I don't see the big deal.
What?
I mean, okay.
She got a Guinness Book of Record. It's a big deal.
It is, no, of course, it's a big deal for Guinness Book of Record. But what is the record? Having appeared more times than anybody else?
Yeah, it's something. For her, it's something.
Well, you know, I'm not taking it away from her. I'm just not excited.
I understand.
If it was like...
It's not making you so giddy and all of that. Yeah.
It's not. I feel like, okay, so giving an award for attending an event more times than anybody else. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's
exactly.
No, you are being able to attend so many events. Also,
Faith, are you saying that there are other athletes who have not had the chance to attend as many times as she has, that do not have more medals than she does?
Yes.
So is it about the number of times, or actually what you're able to accomplish at the times that you do show up?
The number is also very, very important with the game, with the sport generally. And like you said, it's about the consistency. She's been there for a while. Even Segun Toriola, he doesn't have a Guinness Book of Records, but he has a record ongoing for him here in Nigeria. I think the one person with the most appearance at the Olympics for Nigeria. That is celebrated as well.
I think those kinds of awards are insignificant. I mean, there are other things we can aspire to.
Well, maybe.
I remember a player in NBA that didn't miss a game for about 13 years. Are you going to say that is not something to celebrate as well?
It's something to celebrate.
Okay,
let's talk about Serena Williams.
Let's talk Serena Williams. I'm excited because I think for a couple of years now, when there's a major tour like we're having at the Australian Open now, people come back to the fact that she's chasing
the 24th Grand Slam.
Exactly, and she's into the third round now.
Yes.
Is there fresh hope more than there's been in the past?
Well, if you've seen her play since the start of the Australian Open, and you see a bit of freshness to her game, you see a bit of mobility to her game. She seems to have shed some of the baby fat, quote unquote. It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years anyway. So she's shed some weight, and she's able to move her body a bit better than in the past. And she is playing one of her best tennis. I recall after her first game, she said it was vintage Serena, like a movement. So I think that gives us a bit of new hope. But you know, as the game is, and as the inconsistency, or should I say how erratic the WTA is, you can never take away the place of upset from the game. So it could also happen.
I mean, there have been some, already.
Already there have been. In fact, the defending champion has been knocked out already. So for her, she's just trying to play herself above the pressure that is being handed down on her by the press. Because for every press conference she goes to, she's being asked about the 24th Grand Slam, That's additional pressure on her as a person.
Absolutely.
So she's trying to play that down and just continue, take it slowly.
I don't know why it is, but I have this confidence that this could be the time, you know, that it just
This
might
is our
happen.
year. Okay, maybe it's Serena's year. All right, thank you very much, Chacha. Okay, guys, you're welcome to Sports Bank this morning, reaching you live from the Integrity Station, Splash 105.5 FM, from the big brown roof city of Ibadan. We're happy to be back here again this Super Thursday morning. My name is Blessing Fuwu, and you already heard the voice of Faith Adedijan. Together, we're running the show this morning in the world of sports. Well, we still come to talk about tennis, Serena Williams, and the other upsets in the Australian Open, the first Grand Slam of the year. We'll also talk about Blessing Okakbari and the Guinness World Book of Record that she got yesterday. But first off, let's start from Formula One. Tell you about the Portuguese Grand Prix, where F1 has secured confirmation that Portugal can host the third Grand Prix of the 2021 season. That's on the 2nd of May. Portugal is on UK's red list of countries that are at heightened risk in the pandemic because of the emergence of new coronavirus variants now. But F1 bosses have committed to the race at Portimao following talks with race organizers. The F1 personnel attending the race will not return to the UK within the 10-day restriction period from such countries. Now, all will travel to the Spanish Grand Prix, which follows a week later. After that, some will go straight to Monaco, where the race is scheduled for 21st of May. Others will remain in Spain until they have gone beyond 10 days since leaving Portugal and then return to the UK. All F1 personnel are subject to regular testing as part of strict COVID protocols aimed at controlling the virus. Well, the restrictions from countries is definitely going to be a big play in this season's Formula One.
Definitely. In every sport, as a matter of fact, we remember, and we all know how it became difficult at some point to have the Australian Open in the world of tennis. So you understand that, well, our COVID-19 is now a big player in the sports industry now. In every industry, as a matter of fact, you have to look at these things, because the way every country is dealing with it is different. So that is the major problem. You have, a UK strain, you have one dangerous strain in South Africa and all that. So, there are different strains in different countries, and this is a novel, virus that we are still looking at ways to understand. And, several research works are still going on as regards, COVID-19, as a matter of fact. So we have to look at different cases in isolation. We look at, want to have the Formula One at the next Grand Prix in maybe Portugal now. Then we look at Portugal and then look at how would be able to have the event and all that. So, good one that we now know that we'll be able to have that. Hopefully, other Grand Prix will also not be affected. We'll be able to have as many as possible, because the more the merrier always in the world of sports. When we have so many events, then maybe it will be a proper representation of whoever wins the competition, as a matter of fact. When you get to have maybe 5 Grand Prix and then we get a championship winner from just 5, it wouldn't be a proper representation, like having you win over 21 Grand Prix or 22 Grand Prix. So maybe that is just, a good way to go right now in the world of Formula One.
It's already a big player in football, so I can understand why this is also a big player. I'm talking of coronavirus now, a big player in the world of Formula One. Let's head straight to tennis. The Australian Open. Novak Djokovic survived a scare, and Nick Kyrgios saved match point as day 3. The Australian Open caught the attention of the crowds. Now, defending champion and world number 1 Djokovic overcame Francis Tiafoe 6-3, 6-7, 7-6, 6-3. That was a very, very, very tough game for Novak Djokovic, and it felt like it was going to crash out at some point. Well, in the hot conditions at Melbourne, Djokovic served 26 aces to Tiafoe's 23 as the 33-year-old came through in 3 hours and 30 minutes. And Nick Kyrgios, the Australian, he then produced a thrilling 5-set win over Hugo Humbert in front of a rowdy John Cain Arena. He showed his usual mix of fiery antics and exciting shots to beat the Frenchman 5-7, 6-4, 3-6, 7-6, 6-4, and then he fell to his knees after winning the match before sitting in his chair and shaking his head in disbelief. Well, remember, Kyrgios has often said that the John Cain Arena, which is open to general ticket holders, is his favorite to play on because of the atmosphere. But now he will face last year's finalist and US Open champion Dominic Thiem in the next round after Thiem eased past Germany's Dominic Koepfer 6-4, 6-love, 6-2. Swiss Stanislas Wawrinka exited the 5th set tie break loss to Martin Fucsovics. Fucsovics will face 14-seed Milos Raonic in the next round after the Canadian defeated Francis Corentin Moutet 6-7, 6-1, 6-1, 6-4. And the Argentine 8 seeds Diego Schwartzman is also through after seeing off French lucky loser Alexander Muller 6-2, 6-love, 6-3. And Alexander Zverev, who lost the US Open final to Thiem, made light work of American Maxim Cressy, winning 7-5, 6-4, 6-3. And in the women's category, world number 2 Simona Halep clawed her way into the Australian Open third round after fighting back from the brink against Alia Tomljanovic, the Romanian, the finalist in 2018, trade 5-2 in the deciding set before beating the Australian 4-6, 6-4, 7-5. And Halep will next play Russia's Veronika Kudermetova in the next round. And Serena Williams earlier in the day breezed through after Petra Kvitova and Bianca Andreas became the biggest casualties on the third day. And early this morning, we had another casualty added, and that's the fact that defending champion Sofia Kenin has also been knocked out. There were victories for Naomi Osaka. Well, she underlined why she's one of the favorites for the title with a 6-3, 6-3 straight-set victory over Caroline Garcia. Also for Gabriel Muguruza, she continued a good form with victory over Ludmila Samsonova. And it wasn't good news for Venus Williams, who lost to Sarah Errani 6-1, 6-love. Well, the scoreline looks, well, it is emphatic for Sarah Errani, but Venus had to, she got injured in that game. She her ankle, very, very nasty ankle injury. She also lost a knee as well. But rather than retiring due to injury, she fought her way through until the very end. She wasn't going to retire, and she played all through to the very end of the game. Ashley Barty, as she also overcame fellow Australian Daria Gavrilova to move to the next round. Upsets everywhere.
Yeah, in the early stages of the Australian Open or any big tennis event, or any Grand Slam, as a matter of fact, what we always look out for is the upset. We want to see what the big lads are doing, the big guns, what are they doing, what are they up to. And then, just like we always have, we've had upsets here and there. In the men's game, we've had a former champion, the man who won it in 2014, Stan Wawrinka. He got knocked out by Djokovic there. And I saw that game, and maybe Wawrinka was already showing that maybe weaknesses are already creeping in here and there and all that. But maximum credit to Fucsovic in that particular one. He gave a good account of himself, and he rightfully won that particular encounter. Then we also saw Bianca Andreas get knocked out. That is something that maybe some of us already saw coming, because she had not been in any major event for about 18 months. She had been out of action. I think since she won, was it the US Open in 2019? She has not, been at any major event. So you understand why maybe she's a little bit match rusty and all that, court rusty, as a matter of fact. So those things will always come. And then Sophia Kenin, I saw it at the previous round as well. She practically limped through that round. She just managed to cross the line in that particular game. I think she even cried in that game, after getting that win. So the cracks were already showing on the wall, and eventually she got knocked out. So I will continue to look out. I think the big boys are still very, very much in action. We're seeing, Novak Djokovic. I saw how Tiafoe, the American, gave a good account of himself, as a matter of fact, because Djokovic won the first set, and we all thought, well, it would be business as usual. But then in the second set, Tiafoe won the second set. He almost won the third set. He went into a tiebreaker, and then he lost it. And Djokovic was able to show that, well, I've got into the first set right now, and then I'll be able to get it done and dusted. So it just showed the character, the mentality, and the mental fortitude of some of these big lads here and there. Serena Williams, just like we've also said, she's still coasting through. But I think, in recent times, the problem we've always had is not always in this preliminary rounds. It's always
when you get to the quarterfinals, the
quarterfinals, semifinals, or even the finals, as a matter of fact. So maybe for now, I'm still saying, well, yeah, just like you said earlier on, she has shown a little bit more athleticism right now. She's fitter and all that. But maybe when it gets to the business end, when we begin to see the big ladies, maybe when she comes up against a Simona Halep, for example, and Ashley Barty, for example, then maybe I'll be able to make a proper judgment right now. For now, I'm still being calm with her. But when she comes up against one of those big ladies, she does proper justice to that, then maybe we'll be saying it's finally time to do justice to that. But then let us ease the pressure now. Let her just take it a game at a time and not look beyond the next challenge. So the next challenge is whoever is in front of her, and then I hope she continues to do justice, and we'll all continue to root for her, because she's a very huge sensation in the world of tennis.
Indeed, getting to the finals is not a problem for Serena Williams, but of course, getting to win the 24th, that's the ordeal that she needs to cross at this point. But before that, she has to get to another final. Let's move away from tennis straight to basketball, where the Tigress forward Evelyn Akato has shed more light on why she missed out of the training camping in Atlanta ahead of the Olympic Games. In an exclusive chat with the media department of the NBBF, that's Nigerian Basketball Federation, the Flames Carolo France player revealed that due to travel restrictions as occasioned by COVID-19 pandemic between the US and Europe, reporting to camp was impossible. The situation, according to her, was out of control of all parties involved because of the national implications and the serious attention being paid to curb the treatment of the virus. Here is Evelyn Akato on Sports Bank this morning, telling us why she missed out of training camp in there for the Tigress.
It is true that I got invited to the camp last week, but unfortunately I wasn't able to go because of some circumstances, me leaving France and not being able to come back, so I just had to hold on for my documentation to be out before deciding on what to do. Unfortunately, it still hasn't arrived yet. I'm still waiting on it, and I can't do nothing about that. It's something that is actually out of my control and the control of my team or the national team.
Okay, on the latest addition to the D Tigers team, a member of the 2017 FIBA Afro Basket Team of Tournament said the new faces would definitely add the needed depth to the team ahead of the games. Despite not being present in camp, Akato said she has played against some of the players and is quite familiar with their qualities and what they can bring to the team.
I wasn't really present during the training camp, but I could tell like half of the teams, the players that were present were the teams that I've really played with, and also talking about the new players coming in. I know about some like Elizabeth Williams. I know she's a really good player. I played against her in Turkey, and I've watched her. I've seen her play while she was in college, so I know she's a really good player. Also, Amy Okonkwo, I did play against her while I was in Spain, and she's really good. And as well as Odera, I played against her while I was in college. I don't really know much about her now, but I'm pretty sure she's a really good player as well. I think we have a good team, and by God's grace, we're still going to go to the Olympics and just do what we've been doing and just add to it, add more to it, to what we've been doing.
I mean, when it comes to talents in Nigeria, it's never in want. But the only thing is that we hope that with good organization, we can go on to, make things possible, make things happen in whatever sport it is that we are playing. Now, with the right preparation, she believes that the Tigers will come out good and be a formidable team in Tokyo. Remember, Nigeria is grouped alongside USA, France, and Japan in Group B there for the Olympics. And talking athletics, Nigerian athlete Blessing Okagbare has been recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the only athlete to have attended the athletics diamond meeting 67 times. Okagbare yesterday shared the good news via a verified Instagram handle. She said, and I quote, "A dream made reality through God's grace and determination. Look what finally came in the mail. Thanks to Guinness Book of World Records, I am indeed honored, proud, and grateful." The mail sent to her by the body read, "The most appearance in Diamond League meetings by an athlete is 67 and was achieved by Blessing Okagbare in Nigeria between 30th of July 2010 to 31st of August 2018. Okagbare, track and field athlete, won a silver medal at the 2018 Beijing Olympics. She also won silver and bronze in the long jump and 200 meters event. That's in the 2013 World Championships held in Moscow, Russia rather. The 32-year-old had a brilliant outing at the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, where she won 2 gold medals and a silver, and she's one of Nigeria's medal hopefuls there at the Olympics this year. The AFN, through its Secretary General, Prince Adisa Beyoku, has praised her for the feat, saying Okagbare over the years continued to place Nigeria's name on the map of the world for all the right reasons.
Yeah, obviously, she's been one of the best athletes we've had in recent times. So you just have to give maximum credit to her. The kind of talent she has been able to come up top. So I remember the 2014 Commonwealth Games that you just talked about. She won, the gold medal in the 100 meters and the 200 meter event in Glasgow over there. She also won a silver medal with the relay team as well in the 4x100 meters. Multiple African champion. She has been there, done that. Maybe sometimes you see lapses and all that, but then it's bound to happen. You can always have some bad moments in your career, but ultimately when Blessing is on top form, she's one of the best female athletes we've had in recent times, and she will go down the lane of when she's 32 right now. When she eventually retires, she will go down the lane of some of the legendary women we've had on the track, or generally in athletics. As a matter of fact, she will become someone like a Falila Togunkoya, someone like a Marion Yali, someone like a Choma Ajunwa and all that. She would go into the category of one of the greats, and that is what the kind of legacy she has been able to lay down for some of the younger girls coming through the ranks. Maybe someone like Joy Udo Gabriel as well will also look at her and see her as an inspiration and say, well, maybe when I later on in my career I'll be able to achieve this kind of feat. So I think it's a good one that she has been able to get into the Guinness Book of Records. I think that is one of the dreams of every human in whatever endeavor you are being involved in. You want to recognize.
recognized.
You want to be recognized. You want to be one of the best. I'm sure, Blessing Fowe also wants to get into the Guinness Book of Records, for some good reasons and all that. So it's just, part of the human nature. We want to be, the best in whatever we are doing. And I'm sure, the Okagbari family will be very happy about this right now. And I hope she'll be able to use this as a springboard to achieve greater things in her career.
Remember, she already ran personal best in the indoors games, I think in the US. I can't remember which number precisely.
Yeah, 60 meters.
I mean, yes, in 2 personal bests, as a matter of fact. And she came onto social media to say she's excited about the way her season has started and looking forward to the Olympics. Well, I recall on Saturday I was speaking with Bambo Akoni and I asked him about if there was anyone who is closer to laying claims to Blessing Okagbari's throne as the queen of the track here in Nigeria. Well, he did mention some names like Joe Dogrebe, like you said, and some other names that I can't remember right now. But I also recall him saying that for now, Blessing still has that throne. I mean, she still locked it in for now, and maybe a bit of consistency will see the others come through the ranks to eventually lay claims to that at the end of the day. And hopefully, athletics definitely, we are praying, should produce a couple of medals for us at the Olympics. Of course, if our preparation is right. I mean, if you don't plan very well, you definitely expect whatever comes afterwards. Let's head over to football. The FIFA Club World Cup games today. And of course, it is Bayern Munich against Tigres. And the 3rd place match will be against Al Ahly and Palmeiras. And of course, some of the big football greats, I'm talking of former South American football greats like Javier Mascherano and Julio Cesar, have been impressed with Egypt's Al Ahly so far at the Club World Cup in Qatar. And they're saying that indeed it shows that someone like Mo Salah is not a one-off. When you see how Al Ahly is playing, how they're structured, then you know that someone like Mo Salah is not a one-off. Maybe there are many more Mo Salahs. That's exactly what they're saying. There are many more Mo Salahs there in Egyptian football that you might get to see at the end of the day. And for Bayern Munich, they're looking forward to making history. They want to win the 6th title. I think it's done and dusted. but I remember Chelsea and Corinthians in 2012.
But Corinthians, maybe they are not as big as this Mexican team.
Maybe,
this is the first time a Mexican team will be getting to the finals of the Club World Cup. But then, in the world of football, you never say never. There's always room for upsets. And that is always what we always want. I think we want the upset story. We want to see maybe the big team suffer. But, Bayern Munich right now, they look indomitable. Just like you said, they've won, 5 trophies already. Every competition in front of them right now, they just get it under the radar and they do justice to it. We also how they annihilated FC Barcelona at during the Champions League knockout stage and all that. We also saw how they navigated the Champions League. We saw how they won the DFB Pokal. We saw how they won the German Bundesliga as well. So Bayern Munich will always go in as favourites. Maybe it will take serious confidence or huge bravery to bet against Bayern Munich, winning that one.
In the Copa del Rey, Sevilla defeated Barcelona 2-0, and Ivan Rakitic was also, punished his former side with a goal there. Well, they are taking that 2-0 advantage into the second leg, and later today we'll see Athletic Bilbao against Levante. In the Coppa Italia, Atalanta will face Juventus in the finals after beating Napoli thanks to 2 goals from Matteo Pessina. And there's been only one trophy. Atalanta, who lost the 2019 final to Lazio, have only won one major trophy in their history, and that was the 1963 Coppa Italia, and they're hoping to add another one when they take on Juventus. In the FA Cup, Cristiano just scored an injury time winner to send Leicester into the last 8 of the FA Cup as they edged past Brighton 1-0, and Pep Guardiola hailed his special players as City defeated Swansea 3-1. They rewrote history there. They set a new record for successive domestic wins by an English top flight club, surpassing the previous best of 14 achieved by Preston team in the 1891-1892 season and the 1987 and 1988 Arsenal side. And Everton reached the FA Cup quarterfinals after edging out Tottenham. That was a crazy game, bonker of a game there, 9-goal classic at Goodison Park. And I recall asking on Just Football yesterday, how much longer does Harry Kane have with Tottenham if they don't get to win a trophy? And hey, what a huge blow it was for Tottenham and a huge blow for Mourinho yesterday. This is the BBC Premier League Update. We return, talk a bit about those games, wrap up on Sports Bank. Stay with us.
BBC Premier League Update from the home of Premier League football. Hello, I'm Andy Barwell at the BBC Sports Centre. Manchester City have set a new record in English football, the first top-flight club to make it 15 straight wins in all competitions. And they set that new best in reaching the quarter-finals of this season's FA Cup. Manchester City were 3-1 winners away at second-tier side Swansea City, with goals from Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus and an opener coming from the fullback Kyle Walker.
Sometimes I'd hate to be this manager. It seems every 11 that he puts out seems to put a good performance in. But it's a good problem to have. You know, I think that shows that the level that this football club's moving. You know, we want to achieve great things here and hopefully we can do.
Leicester City also progressed through Kelechi Iheanacho's goal deep into added time in beating Brighton and Hove Albion 1-0. And Sheffield United were 1-0 FA Cup fifth-round winners at home to second-tier Championship team Bristol City. Billy Sharp settled the game from the penalty spot on 66 minutes for the side managed by Chris Wilder.
I thought we were pretty comfortable. We got a little bit sloppy in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Misplaced passes, it possibly shouldn't have gone to just the one goal. At that stage of the game, we should have been out of sight. And hopefully use this, as we have done previously, to see if we can pick some points up at Premier League.
And there was a 9-goal thriller at Goodison Park in an all-top-flight FA Cup clash. Everton beat Tottenham Hotspur 5-4. Everton's winner coming through the Brazilian attacking international Bernard in the 7th minute of extra time. And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, we have to leave on Sports Bank this morning, but Faith, quickly, let's talk about that game.
Well, I don't know what happened to both defenses yesterday. They just went to sleep. It was shambolic defending from both teams yesterday. But then ultimately, Ancelotti's men got the win. They got the 5-4 win eventually. And maybe Harry Kane will begin to look at himself. But then they are still in the finals of the League Cup, the EFL Cup. So maybe they will still win something. And maybe I'll quickly call Fermi out. I don't know, maybe, a result from yesterday made him get under the weather and, one way or the other.
Decided not to show face. Okay, I join you in calling Fermi out this morning. I'm calling Boss Clever out as well. Fake Barcelona fans. Okay, anyway, Jurgen Klopp is devastated after his mother's death, and then he will miss the funeral of the German, in Germany rather, of the 81-year-old. We pray that her soul rest in perfect peace. That's how far we can go on Sports Bank this morning. Later tonight, fifth round of the FA Cup, Chelsea are going away to Barnsley. Hopefully, maybe we'll cover me out again on that on Saturday. Sports Bank makes a return tomorrow at 7:30. Winning Friday edition. Thanks to Faith for being here this morning.
Yeah,
my name is Blessing for Wowe. Au revoir.
Splash FM 105.5.